everybody, it's Mrs. Kowalski, one of the reading coaches for Linden Public Schools, and I am here to talk to you about summer reading. Yes, summer is coming in quickly, and it is time to think about what we are going to do to help keep our brain strong for summer. So if you just give me a second, I'm going to share my screen. And Linden Public Schools has put together a summer reading program for everyone to take part in. It is not mandatory, but we sure hope that you do take part in it. It is very, very simple. You will all, from grades first going into second through fifth grade, you will all get a letter from our Director of Language Arts, Mrs. Smith, explaining and outlining what the summer reading program is all about, but it's really very simple. It is a reading log. So we are asking you to read for 15 minutes every day. 15 minutes every day. And a lot of you are familiar with a log. So what you have to do is, and when you get your letter, you're going to get a log sheet. But if you forget or lose your log sheet, that's no big deal, because you can just write down your log on any sheet of paper, a lined sheet of paper, a blank sheet of paper, any sheet of paper. This is also going to be available on the district website, so you can also print it out. But if you don't have the capability to do that, you can always just take any piece of paper and write down what book that you read for 15 minutes that day. So you'll put your name, you'll put the date, the title of the book, the author, and how many minutes that you read. Now, we hope you read 15 minutes every single day, right? But summer, there are so many cool things to be doing over the summer. So if you get caught up and you don't read for a day, no worries. Just log in a 15 minutes the next day, right? So the whole idea of this is just to keep reading every single day. Did you know that if you read for 15 minutes every single day, that will expose you to almost 1 million words? 1 million words. Of course your brain's going to keep strong if you keep doing that. So the log is a very important part, right? You need to hand that log in. But in addition to that, we made some choice boards. So if you are a student going into the second grade or going into the third grade, you will also get a choice board. And the choice board has some really cool ideas that you can do while you're reading to kind of keep the reading fun. You could draw a picture or write another page, creating a new ending to the story. You could design a cover for your book, right? You could come up with 5 questions that you would ask one of the characters in the book. You could practice reading your book 2 times to a family member or friend, or even a stuffed animal. You could write a list of 8 to 10 verbs that you found in your book. A verb is an action word, and you could draw 2 or 3 pictures of your favorite verbs, right? So you can choose from the board any types of activities. You can even circle the activities as you do them along the way. Now, if you notice here, the due date is September 15th. So when you return to school, your summer reading is not due that very first day, right? It is due the 15th. It's that first full week of school. It is due on the Friday of that week. The log as well, I'm just going back a screen. The log as well is due the same day, right? So you don't have to worry about bringing it in the very first day of school. You can bring it in that next week, okay? So we have a different choice board for the third graders going into fourth grade and the fourth graders going into fifth grade. So this is basically, like, for instance, if you are a third grader going into fourth grade, you might want to find 5 words you don't know in that book and look up the definition in dictionary.com, or create a comic strip to retell that story. You could make 3 connections to a character in the story. You could create a PowerPoint or a keynote. You could make a collage using 10 pictures from magazines or newspapers. You could use a map to highlight the specifics of the text. If you don't have a map, you can make one, right? So again, these are all different choices that you can make in order to keep the reading fun. So here's the really cool part. When you return, right, to school and bring your log to your new teacher, you will get a coupon, right? If you complete your summer reading, you turn in your log and your choice board to your teacher, you will earn the chance to be entered into a grade level drawing. So there are some great prizes there. I have to tell you how excited certain students were to get different prizes. Your name will go on the coupon. The coupon will get submitted into a little bag, and then there'll be a special person at each school that will pull the prize winner for each grade. So every grade will have a winner. And let me tell you, there have been great prizes in there. Of course, there have been books. There have been colored pencils. There have been drawing paper. There's been snacks in the cafeteria. That was always a good one. Kids loved getting free snack in the cafeteria. So there are tons of different great prizes that you might be eligible for. It is so important for you to remember to read this summer. Again, this is not mandatory. It is optional. But you have worked so hard this year to make your brain as strong as it possibly can be, right? So why would you want to not keep that brain strong? There's so many different places that you can read. There are so many different places. You can read at the beach. You can read it by the pool. You could read in the car. You could read on a plane, right? So if you say, oh, Mrs. Kowalski, I'm going somewhere, on vacation. No problem. You can always read on a plane, in a car, on the train, right? I sound like Dr. Seuss right now. But for all of the work that you have done this year to make your brain stronger than it was last year, it is so important for you to go back and take that 15 minutes every single day, or every day that you can, and just keep that brain going. So I'm just gonna stop right here, sharing my screen, and bring myself back up again, and just say, I don't know about you, but summer is one of my most fun times to read. I'm getting ready to read some cool professional books to keep my brain strong, right? Also have some goodies that I want to reread, right? Just to kind of keep my brain going. So honestly, I'm going to ask you to take that summer reading challenge and do the best you can this summer. 15 minutes a day, it's not long to ask. The hardest part is keeping the log. And like I said, if you don't have the paper, if you lose the paper, it's no worries. Just write it on any piece of paper. Your teacher next year will be so happy that you stuck to that reading plan. Now, if you have any questions, right, you can write them down, or you can ask your teacher. And if your teacher can answer that, which I'm sure most times the teacher is going to be able to answer it, but if not, they could reach out to their building district coach, right, and they will be able to answer any questions about summer reading. So, with that having been said, I hope everybody has a wonderful, safe, happy, and reading summer. Enjoy!